When it comes to core strength and core stability, we all know we need it, especially if we're dealing with back or hip pain, but it can be confusing. What exercises do you really need to do that will create a foundation in your core without aggravating already existing pain or discomfort? Which is why today I'm sharing simple and accessible core stability exercises you can do every day for pain-free movement. Hi, I'm Jessi, holistic fitness trainer and creator of BreathCore, a program that walks you through how to activate your core muscles through breathwork. I offer lots of free tools and workouts, all focused on creating sustainable strength and stability in your body. So make sure you check out the description. And if you find this video helpful, please help me by liking and subscribing for more mind, body, soul fitness tips. Okay, before we get into the exercises, let's take a moment to talk about what core stability is and why it's important for our body. Core stability is our body's ability to manage the movement and stability of the lower back pelvis region, the lumbopelvic region. This is important because as we move our bodies, it is the core's job to support the spine, the vertebral column, and to help manage the force generated by our limbs as we move. That is our arms as we reach for things, our legs as we walk or run or sit and stand. So keeping our core muscles strong is important so that we can function with ease in our day-to-day activities. A strong core will help us prevent avoidable injuries, and it also signals to our nervous system that we are stable and strong, which just helps us feel better in our body. Here are 4 core stability exercises that you can do every day that will help you connect to your abdominal muscles without aggravating existing discomfort or pain. These exercises are done lying down on the mat, and I highly recommend that as you watch this video, you do the exercises with me so that you can get familiar with how to engage with your core muscles in each of these exercises. And once you get familiar with the exercises in this video, check out the description for a quick 8-minute ab workout that uses these same exercises, but in more of a circuit style workout. Thank you for being here, and let's begin. Exercise number 1 is called supine breathing in a neutral spine. Supine just means lying on your back. So you're going to lay on your back with a pillow underneath your head. And our neutral spine, what that means is that there's a natural space between the lower back and the floor. And we want to make sure, you might even take your hands to your hips, that your tailbone's not curling up like this, and that you're not also overarching the lower back like this. So we got to find that sweet spot somewhere in between where the front of our pelvis here is just this nice, even, nice horizontal plane. And we begin with our breath. So we inhale through the nose, thinking about expanding the abdomen, the sides of the ribs. Exhale through an imaginary straw, make a little sound with it, and feel the core muscles drawing in. Really, it just feels like a hug. And it might be really subtle at first, and that's okay. It's just getting our brain to communicate with our core muscles, and we're using the breath as our tool. So we're going to take a big inhale, feeling the expansion. I like to put my hands on my body so that I can really get my brain to communicate with this section of my body, and then exhale, it draws in. Now, you might be thinking, okay, how does this count as an ab exercise, right? It's so simple. Breathing is really your best tool when it comes to turning on and activating these muscles in your trunk. Now, this is something that I go into detail in the BreathCore program, and you can check out more information on that in the description. But we just lay here practicing inhale, expanding abdomen and sides of ribs, and then active exhale, and we feel it draw in. The deepest layer of core muscles, called the transversus abdominis, or your TA, it's a corset, literally a corset that wraps around your trunk. And that is the deep internal support that our lower back needs in order to manage the movement of our limbs. So as you do this supine breathing, you're also making sure that you're not wasting energy by clenching the glutes or clenching your jaw or squinting your face, and you're utilizing the energy in your core because that's what your body needs. It needs core stability. So you would lay here and just breathe. What is it like to use your breath to connect to your core muscles? Exercise number 2 is pelvic tilts. So we begin in the same position, neutral spine. We're going to take a big breath. But this time as we exhale, we're going to draw the core in. So I feel my belly button drawing down, and I'm going to allow my abs to stamp my lower back into the floor. And what will happen is the pelvis will posteriorly tilt, which means your pubic bone kind of lifts just a little bit. And then you inhale, you go back into that neutral. So there's that natural space between your lower back and the floor. Active exhale, like you're exhaling through a straw. And you feel the core muscles drawing in. Now, the intention behind this exercise is to open up this line of communication with your breath and your core muscles. So you're teaching yourself or re-educating your body, feel the core muscles engage before you move. So it's not my legs or my butt cheeks, and you might notice this is you squeeze to make that happen. It's not down here. That's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to take a breath and exhale. Feel the core drawing in, and the core drawing in is what moves the pelvis. Move number 3, we call it alternating leg lifts. And this exercise builds on the previous exercises. So for this exercise, we are going to take a breath, and as we exhale, think about drawing the core muscles in, and then we're going to lift one leg. Now, as we lift a leg, we want to make sure that the core muscles continue to draw in. We're not allowing the core muscles to push out or dome out. We're keeping those core muscles in. We're keeping the shoulders, the face relaxed, and then we put the leg down and we take an inhale. And then we exhale. We feel the core. So we got to get the mind to communicate with the core first. We feel the core draw in, and you can feel that imprint, that stamping lower back, and then you lift your other leg. Also being mindful that the hips are not tilting or twisting. There's not one hip hiking up, because remember, our core stability is all about our ability to manage the lower back pelvic region. So we inhale, we exhale, we feel core, right? We feel the connection, the stability, and then we move the leg. The sequence of how you're breathing to your movement is really important. Our final move in these core stability exercises that you can do every day, we're going to be laying on our side. Now, sometimes if you're on the ground like me, laying on your side, especially if the ground's hard, might be a little uncomfortable for the side of your hip. So I'm going to lay a blanket down so I have a little bit of cushion underneath the side of my hip, and I'm also going to grab an additional pillow so that my head can just relax. Knees are bent at a comfortable position, and if you needed to, you could also put another pillow in between your legs. That is often very, very helpful. So take a moment to arrange. Now in this position, we're going to be working more of the obliques, which are the sides of the core. And the obliques are really important because they run parallel with the spine, right? They're like side panels, and those side panels draw in and they support the spine, which helps to increase how we manage the movement of our body. So laying on your side, you're going to allow your side down here, we're going to be working down here, to just kind of collapse to the floor. And you're going to take a big breath. And then as you exhale, we're going to feel this waist drawing up and in. So I'm lifting my lower waist off the floor, creating a little space between my bottom waist and the floor. And then I'm going to inhale and let the bottom waist collapse again. And I'm going to exhale. And it's an active exhale, making a little sound as I draw that waist up and in. You just repeat this a few times. And I'm closing my eyes because for me, it's really helpful to close my eyes so I can feel it. I might even touch my body and kind of poke it like, is it drawing in? Sometimes that tactile, touching the muscle is really, really helpful. And so you can try that. Making sure as you lift the oblique on this bottom side that you're not clenching the legs or the hips. You're not clenching your shoulders or your face. It's just here, right? Just the core. Feeling, activating, getting your mind to communicate with these side panels of your body. That is our 4 core stability exercises that you can do every day for pain-free movement to really start to train your core muscles, how to support your spine, how to better manage the movement of your limbs. And if you found this video helpful, please make sure you maybe subscribe for more mind, body, soul fitness tips. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me today. Make sure you check out some of the other workouts that I've linked in the description, and I'll see you next time.